Let's talk about setting up and performing the deadlift. First and foremost, you need to make sure that the bar is nice and close to you, and make sure that your legs are directly underneath your hips. That means the hips should be over the knees, should be over the ankles. Once we set up for that, we're going to grab onto the bar just outside of the legs. That way we can press the knees into the elbows. At its core, the deadlift is a hip hinge movement, meaning that as you press yourself up, you want to think about pushing the hips forward and then pull the hips back as you descend. That means it's going to look like an RDL until you get to the bottom of your RDL, and then you'll just lower yourself and the bar to the ground. I want to make a quick note that your bracing is also very important here. When we say bracing, we're talking about the entire core, meaning that your shoulders should be pressing down towards your hips at all times, and you should be flexing your abs as much as you can. As I'm sure you've heard before, the deadlift can be potentially dangerous, so this kind of bracing will help us to ensure that we stay as far away from injury as we can. The most common mistakes I see are having the hips too high where the back is rounding, or the hips too low where you end up squatting the deadlift. Your hips should be as high as they can be without the back rounding. Of course, the deadlift is a very complicated exercise, so you may need more cues than these, but this is a good starting point. Once we put it all together, it should look something like this. So let me know if there's any other questions you guys have, and hopefully this helps.